IF25, went no contact with my family, M54 at F50, and M20, when I was 18. Now they are reaching out. What should I do? Original 12th of June 2024. Update 23rd of June 2024. Posts preserved on Raw, Reddit. IF25, went no contact with my family, M54 at F50, and M20, when I was 18. Now they are reaching out. What should I do? For whatever reason, my parents didn't want me. Once they had my brother, who we'll call Adam, I was pretty much ignored. They didn't abuse me, but I was pretty neglected. Everything was about Adam and how smart he was or how athletic he was or how he was just financially, physically? And is it worth the risk? Walk through possible outcomes, best case and worst case scenarios. For me, if they wanted to apologize and talk, I wouldn't be willing to take the time and money to fly to them and do it on their terms. They could have sent a letter, right? The answer is yes. Due to the gaslighting and psychological manipulation my family has put me through, I'd want it all in writing. I'd hear them out but want to see it before I even gave it a chance. Oop, they don't actually have my address, so they couldn't send a letter directly to me. But they could send it to my cousin and she could always give it to me? Square, half 4672. I would not contact them. I highly doubt they are remorseful. It's likely that they want something. You have your family now, husband and child, why allow your parents to say anything? Oop. If they did want something, I feel like my cousin would have told me or warned me that something was going on them. Yet there aren't any signs that they need anything, other than have a discussion with me apparently. Shooter 1. They want access to your daughter. I would be cautious. Oop, I thought so that too, but my husband Ends up not being dad's kid. I am not the oop. Please do not harass the oop. So what's your opinion? Aita for completely canceling my stepdaughter's birthday bash and leaving her with nothing after I broke up with her dad. I, 43, broke up with my ex, Charlie M. 42, last spring, after finding out that he cheated with his ex, Sandy F. 34. We were together for 3 years, in which I was a very committed stepmother to his kid, Sarah F. 17. She and I never acted like mother-daughter, but I was the go-to adult when she had problems or needed anything because she and her mom don't get along, and my ex would try to help, but his solutions weren't very effective. 1.5 years ago, I completed a very ambitious project for a large company. I started getting paid, but bonuses and royalties only came in this year upon launching. I was so happy and so grateful that I opened accounts for my kids. I decided to gift Sarah the birthday party that she wanted. Her birthday falls in July, and she wanted a pajama party for 25 people, with a big bash, fancy cake, balloons, a DJ, and to go along with her friends to stay in a hotel out of town. This would be for her 18th birthday. So I set up a savings account under my main bank account. Charlie ended up asking me to help him fund a business idea, but I declined for a variety of reasons. We were not married and I prefer to go solo. His business idea sucked because he was inventing the wheel, and I would be finding everything. We ended up having to close the conversation because he got angry and said he needed a helpful partner by his side, and I responded that I was taught not to give men my money. I know I was harsh and I apologized. I began to feel very insecure when Charlie started to criticize my makeup and personal style. He also praised other women to my face, and I felt horrible. Early in the relationship, we had issues because of his communication with Sarah, his ex, which resulted in him promising to cut her off. Fast forward, and I began to notice that Sarah was very active in his family's social media. She gave likes and commented a lot, so I asked him if they were still in contact because 2 just didn't make sense. He denied it. I went on a 10-day business trip and our communication was very off. He would only take my calls until early in the night and became very vague about his daily activities. I couldn't reach him at all for 2 nights on several days apart. He sounded weird when we finally talked, so I lied about having to delay my return date for a few days and arrived 1 day earlier instead. I came home to find used condoms in the trash. My world was shattered and I threw up. His face changed when he saw me home. He also claimed to have been to his mother's house until late. I said I was sick when he asked what was going on and didn't mention anything, but he rushed to take out the trash and to do the laundry. I got into his phone, I know it's wrong, and found hundreds of messages from his ex, pictures, voicemails and conversations like they had never broken up. He consulted her about things, told her about his day, etc. Then I found a family chat that made me sick. He, Sarah, and Sandy spent a whole 2 days at a camp. him being on the floor working in my place. He was waiting outside the door of the bathroom, not worried about me, nope. He had to pee, like there aren't 5 other bathrooms he could use in the building. He is angry at me because I am uninterested in sex with him. I tried to explain I feel like I am dying, I sweat constantly, throw up, have diarrhea, can't eat. I have lost 79 pounds in 5 months, sex isn't my top priority right now, and that set him off. That made me a bitch that doesn't care about him and his needs like WTF? Anyway, long story short, my adult son wants me to leave him. My husband is not my children's bio father, and come live with him and his partner. They want me to live with them so they can help take care of me through the cancer treatments, etc. And in return, when they have children someday, I will be there for my grandkids. I know I am not in love with my husband anymore. I fell getting out of the shower this weekend and lay on the floor of the bathroom too weak to get up, calling my husband. He had the TV up too loud to hear me call him. He says, I just have this guilt. If I leave, he has no transportation, no job, no place to live. Aita, if I just pack my clothes and drive away and take care of just myself for once in my life? Side note, not worried about finding doctors, treatment, insurance, etc. in new place. Nothing is set yet, like I just got my biopsy back, also having major issues with my heart as well, not sure what is up with that yet either, but stress of the job and my husband sure don't help. Relevant comments. Agreed. Run and talk to a lawyer first to get your financials straightened out so you don't have to pay palimony. Make sure everything financial is solely under your name, bank, bills, etc. Have your mail forwarded to your son's address or paperless / put a code / password on everything. In petty, I would pay for him to go visit his parents for 2 days or a friend's home. That day I would have the kids help pack what she wants to keep. The rest he can have. Take lots of pictures for evidence. I may even be nice enough to put things under his name and put his belongings in storage and pay 1 month advance, leave a note with the utility shut-off date and the day he needs to move out, or better yet, once everything is done, tell him he needs to stay with his family, no place to return to. Prior, file for FMLA, don't quit your job yet. Get your benefits, take care of yourself. He is so lazy he may not sign the divorce papers, but depending on your state, once you initiate, he will be served the papers and thing will get moving. Fly birds fly. Set things up where it will be less stress on you. Let your loved ones take care of you. You are an angel, drop that piece of shit. Aita, for pretending to be in hospital to avoid my ex on Father's Day. I, 25F, am currently 5 months pregnant by my ex-husband. But I love American Midwest early marriages. It's not like we hate each other, but our relationship did not end on good terms, and I quite literally had to leave our home in the middle of the night because every time I tried to leave him, he would beg me to stay and I would give in. I just knew I couldn't raise a baby with him, so I had to do a runner. We got married at 19 and 23 and we are currently 25 and 29. Anyway, my dad and I do not speak, so my tradition on Father's Day was to hang out with my ex, even before we were together, as we've always known each other growing up. Even though we're splitting, he's been insistent on taking me out this Father's Day since he's going to be a father this year and he considers it his first Father's Day. The issue here is he still had feelings for me and he wants me to take him back, and every time I try to see him for doctor's appointments or lawyer meetings, he begs me to take him back, and it's just not nice. I told him a few times, like 10 plus, that I was not going to see him this Father's Day because my family have started a tradition of doing a big family cookout for Father's Day. I told him that I wasn't comfortable going out because being pregnant has me attached to a toilet or a trash can, and I told him I didn't think it was right for us to be going out together anymore since we're exes. He's asked to come to the cookout, which is a no-no because my older brother is crazy. He said that he would pop by with a gift and I turned that down. Eventually, I got the message he wasn't taking no for an answer, no matter how many times and ways I said no. I lied and told him that the cookout was actually going to be held 3 hours away at my uncle's ranch, and he said, bet I'll drive over in the evening to see you. This was the night before Father's Day, so my hands were tired. This is where I may be the I waited till morning and then said that I had vomited so much the night before that my mom took me to the hospital and I was being treated for dehydration. I said it was a minor issue, but I was going to be kept all day and I couldn't make it. My brother was in on it and volunteered to the person who kept him updated all day on my condition. Turns out, he wasn't happy with that, so he drove down to the town where I said I was going to be and went to the local hospital and asked to see me. Obviously, he found out I lied and he's extremely pissed at me. My ex-in-laws that I still get along with are so mad at me and want me to apologize for wasting his time. I don't believe I did anything wrong because he would not take no for an answer, but they have said that I should have known how much he cares about me and not lied about being in hospital, no matter how minor the fake illness was. Aita. Relevant comments. NTA. You were just trying to set boundaries and he wouldn't take no for an answer. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to avoid unnecessary drama. Your ex and his family need to respect your space. NTA up, I guess you try and talk with him about your boundaries and how his repeat crossing of those boundaries affects you and the baby. The only way to get people to respect your boundaries is to stick to them. Understand that even talking to him about it for the umpteenth time works against you. All he wants is to keep contact with you, and by discussing you give him that. You say no once and then don't reply anymore. Maybe in the past you said no, he insisted and you ended up giving in. This taught him that it takes, say, 10 no's to get a yes. Read Gavin de Becker's The Gift of Fear, it will teach you a lot about boundaries. Big hugs. And block all their numbers, you don't need their drama. So no, you are not the a-hole. Next story. Aita for telling my husband that I would have never agreed to have his child if I knew he would go back on our agreement. Advice needed. I, 36F, am a neurologist and I absolutely love my patients and my job. I believe there is no greater honor in life than being able to help others. The road to my medical degree was not easy, and it was paved with many rejections. I was a troubled teen in high school and I didn't get accepted into any colleges my senior year. I had to work my way up starting with remedial classes at my local community college. When I finally got into medical school at 26 I was absolutely thrilled. I met my husband 37M in my third year of medical school. We have been married for 4 years now. My husband works in marketing and I make 3 times his salary. From the beginning of our relationship, I was very upfront that I was unsure about having biological children. My dream was always to adopt.